All right. Welcome to the Rise Up podcast. I'm your host, Jonah Mitchell. And on this show, I help you do my best to, I do my best to help you, Jesus, rise up to your potential when it comes to everything involving health and fitness and removing the rules and the restrictions that we put on ourselves and help you realize that this doesn't have to be as difficult as you think it is. And really, when you learn to kind of pay attention to what you need, you start to see that. And on this show, I also am able to bring on really awesome people. And I happen to be joined by one of my new team members. It's been kind of a theme of the last few episodes. So, Luisana, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. And you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. I know we had a bit of a struggle getting this set up this morning.
Yes.
Damn traffic and goodness, but we made it. And yeah, I'm so happy that we get to set this up. You know, we've known each other for about a year, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just same circle.
Right.
And it's been the first time we've ever actually had to get the chance to know each other the last couple of weeks. So it's been really cool, and I think we get along in a lot of different ways. And I just wanted to kind of let you set the floor for who the hell you are and why are you so damn cool.
I love that. Well, thank you again for having me here. I am a nutrition coach. I've been working with the Transformation Project for a little over a year. I love it so far. Honestly, this is every single day I still wake up with that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm doing what I always dream about. Like I'm doing what I really love. So that's amazing. I'm from Venezuela. I've been here in Houston for a little over 7 years now. I don't even remember. So it's been a long journey for me here. At the beginning of my journey, of course, I didn't know the language. I didn't know anything about this country at all. So it was a lot of learning and a lot of struggles at first. So basically, I think that for me in my journey, I started thinking about being a nutrition coach because of my own struggles. I come from a family of a lot of like, people telling you how you're supposed to look, telling you what you're supposed to eat, a lot of things that I wasn't even sure about. So my thing when I came to this country was like, I really need to learn because I'm tired of not knowing how to do the things. I'm tired of struggling with my own body. I'm tired of struggling with eating. I really need to finish this. And I want to help other people because I don't want them to struggle, just like I've been struggling my whole life. So that was the main reason why I decided to be a coach. I started as a personal trainer. And then after that, a little over a year after being a trainer, I was like, okay, no, I do need more. Like I know we can move, but there is something that I'm missing. So that's why I decided to be a nutrition coach. I did it through the gym that I was working with at that time, and honestly, it was the best decision ever. I've been loving nutrition and fitness together since then. It really transformed my life. It really changed my whole life. And my desire is just to pay it forward. It's just to continue doing what I do so other people can learn and they can transform their life too. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what I want to do. And yeah, I love it. I love it so far. There are struggles just like everything else. It's not easy. It was not easy to get to the point where I'm at, but slowly but surely.
hmm Yeah, exactly. I love that. So just to clarify something, we kind of talked a little bit off air about
Yeah.
this, but with your struggles and you moving to the United States, like you had it in your thought process, I'm gonna figure out nutrition and fitness, and then that's gonna be my career, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is insane. Because what I'm used to, like my own stories, I fell into it by accident. Like I had no intentions of ever being a coach. And when I'm talking to other coaches, they're like, "Yeah, I just kind of fell into it." But you're like, "No, this is definitely it." And that's super fascinating because you took all that discomfort, yeah, we'll say discomfort that you experienced from what other family members told you what you should be doing, right? And you're like, "No, this doesn't genuinely work for me." So what was probably the biggest struggle that you had to work through for yourself to get to where you are at now?
Oh, I had so many struggles. I think the first one was not believing on the things that I was capable of doing. Like people would tell me like you're supposed to be this way or you're supposed to eat this way and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Like I was just that person that never asked why or never like I didn't want to learn anything else. And until I got to that point where I was like, I'm not getting any better. I'm struggling really bad. Like my body was going through a lot of things. I lost a ton of weight. I was really, really tiny to the point where I was passing out every 2 or 3 weeks. I'm talking about like my health was in a really low and bad place because I didn't want to eat. I was not eating because I was scared, like extremely scared of gaining weight because I didn't want people to tell me like, hey, you're gaining weight, you're looking fat. And that's something that it was really hard for me to deal with. So I was like, you know what? I really need to find something. I really need to learn because this is something that is not only changing my life, it's also something that I feel like if I don't fix right now, it's not going to get any better. So
Mhm.
that was the first thing that pretty much made me just want to learn. And then, of course, from where I am from, Venezuela, we don't have a lot of people talking about nutrition. We don't have a lot of people talking about fitness. Like, that's not even a thing. They don't know anything. They don't know. Like, they will just tell you, go ahead and do a ton of cardio, go ahead and don't eat carbs. So that's it. You'll lose weight. And of course, that did not work for me. I was starving and I was in a really bad place. So when I came to this country, I was like, they have everything I need. Like they have the knowledge, they have the books, they have the trainings, they have everything. I just need to learn English so I can actually learn how to do those things. So that was my first kind of like my first the first thing that I had on my mind when I came here. I was like, of course, I don't know the language. So that's the first thing that I need to work on. And then once I get that, I can go ahead and start getting my certifications, my training, and everything I need to be a coach. But yeah, basically, that was kind of like the first thing that really made me realize that I needed to learn because I was struggling pretty bad.
Yeah, and that's such a tough environment to really shift your thought process through, especially when it's constantly pushed on you from other people, right? And um I was talking to Caitlin about this the other day. When you're around, when you grow up in an environment, you know, we just kind of are accepting what's being told to us, right? We're just kind of interpret or understanding the situation. What are the rules of existence where we're at, right? And a lot of times, well, a lot of these rules do not actually have our best intentions in mind. Obviously, you
Not
starved
at all.
yourself because you thought that's how you were supposed to stay healthy, right? It was the thought or the rule that you created was skinny is better. It's
Yeah.
better than the judgment that I would receive from family and friends. But it was not their fault either. It's the same things that they were raised on to believe,
Exactly. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And eventually someone's got to hop off the train and find the actual path, you know. So with your newfound understanding, and then I mean, everything that you learned for yourself and wanting to make it your career. Have you been able to pay it forward in other ways, like other family members? Have you been able to help connect to them, or how has that whole interaction been?
Well, it has been really impactful for some of my family. Like my sister, she's now eating better. She's losing weight. She does jujitsu and she's also doing MMA. She's pretty active. And I know she looks at me in a way like, I just want to be as active as you are. I just want to eat as healthy as you eat because I really know how that has changed your life. And I want that for me too. So being that role model for her has been really like, it's amazing. And then same with my mom, she's eating better because we all like I came here first to this country and then they came later when I was
Mhm.
actually able to pay for it. So like two,
Yeah.
3 years after I was here. So as soon as they came, I was like, okay, mom, sister, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it, and this is why we're gonna do it. Like I took the time to actually explain them. This is why you need to eat better. This is why you need to move your body in a way that works for you. Like I really wanted that for them because these like here in this country, of course, you have the capacity to work for that, like you to get the meals and all of that, because in Venezuela we were just not able to. You don't have the food, you don't, like it's just a lot of things going on. So as soon as
Mhm.
they came here, I was like, okay, now it's time. Let's just go ahead and make sure that you guys are eating the things that you're supposed to eat and doing the things that I know are gonna make you feel good and perform better in just every single thing that you do in life. And same with my husband, Luis. So he, when we came to this country, he of course forgot about every single thing about nutrition and fitness because he just had to work. Because of course I was unable to work, so he was the only one working. He didn't pay attention to his health at all. And now he's in a place where he is like, okay, I'm doing the things, I'm eating better, I'm working out every day, we're working out with Nick. So it has been amazing for me to see my family do that. Now my hope is to bring my dad and to actually be able to help him too, because of course he's still over there. So we're still struggling with his nutrition. He doesn't have access to a lot of meals. He doesn't have access to movement. Like he's just at the house pretty much every day. So now that I'm going to be able to bring him, that's my next goal. I want him to get pretty healthy, and I want him to be able to actually live longer. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it has been really,
Yeah,
really helpful.
that's amazing. Yeah, I think there's something small that you said, but is probably one of the most important things, because when we want to take care of the people we love, it's coming from a place of love, but it can be very difficult to communicate, right? But as your sister started to make the adjustments and your mom started to make the adjustments, you helped them. You said you explained why, right? I think that's the most important thing that really helps transition anyone through this process who struggled with what they think they're supposed to do,
Yeah,
and it blocks them from what they actually want to do, and that actually aligns with their goals and how they want to live their life, right?
yeah,
Because when we're growing up and we're told you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, we start making these agreements like, well, weight loss equals something that makes my life harder, right?
yes.
But when you expressed your transformation from not only physically but just your understanding, right, and you gave that to your family, it wasn't a place of pushing them to make them do CrossFit or do more or cut out their carbs. It was like,
Not at
hey, like,
all.
this is what I've learned, and this is how it impacts your body to like a metabolic function, right? And once people start to hear that and they start to understand, oh, it's not just because it burns
You want to
extra
lose
fat.
weight?
No,
Yeah,
it's actually meant to make
yeah.
your life better, not harder. Stop doing shit that's making your life
And easier.
miserable, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's something that we've talked about a
Yes.
lot, right? Yeah, exactly. Um, so that's like removing restriction is
Every single day.
what was that? Oh no, there might be a
Every
slight.
single day. We talk about it every single day.
Oh, I think there's a slight
Oh,
delay.
can you
Oh
hear me?
no. Yes. One second. Okay, sorry. That was a bit of a weird delay. Um, yeah, it was like I was talking and then she would interject. I'm like, what? Wait, what? I can't hear you.
I was thinking more.
um, yeah, but it's all good. We figured it out and we're back and we're talking about removing these rules and these restrictions, right? And that's something that you're deeply passionate about. So and obviously we've kind of already explored that with your own transformation and your own journey. So when you're working with somebody and they have these rules around what they think they have to do and they're actually suffering for these rules, how do you start to help them understand, to find a different path? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And honestly, what I try to do, or what I do with most of my clients, is that I just keep it pretty simple. Like I try to keep it so simple that it's so easy for them to understand. And something else that I always tell them, it's like, I used to struggle with that, just like you're struggling right now. So I know how you feel. Like I want them to know that I know how they feel. And I know it can be hard, but that's why we do it in such a slow motion. Like we do it step little bit by little, so you can actually learn how to do those little changes. And honestly, something that they all realize is that as soon as you pay attention to your food choices, as long as you make some small little changes on your foods and your meals, you can see like such a huge difference. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy. We don't need to go from 0 to 100. Sometimes those small little changes can also make you feel amazing, and we can go from there. I feel like that's the main reason why people like they realize that it actually works, because with even with you doing small little things, you're already getting pretty amazing results. So try to
Mhm.
keep it as simple as possible, and also showing them that it does not have to be that way. Like, they when they start with the challenge, like, they learn that they can eat a ton of food and still get amazing results. Like, it's so simple, it's so easy, but you're still eating and fueling your body. So when they can see that, honestly, after they've done the challenge, it's so easy for us as coaches just to continue with that path, because they already know it actually works. So after that, we just pretty much continue adding and building more habits from there. But it's really about like keeping it as simple as possible and showing them that it actually works and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm so happy that you talked about it, because this is going to be 3 episodes in a row where someone else other than me is saying small steps are huge changes, because it gets you
Yeah.
out of the thought process of you have to change everything all at once. When you focus on one or two things at a time, and you feel a lot better because of it, it's like, holy shit, like that's all I have to do. It's like, yeah, like it's just I think, and I'd love to know your opinion on this, but I think that the biggest issue, or the biggest issue, is the lack of awareness on the intention by the choices that we make, right? And what I mean by that is the intention to make a lot of change pretty quickly is usually out
Yeah.
of discomfort and fear, right? When we want to change something rapidly, we think we have to do a lot all at once. But when you change the intention to just understand and focus on small changes that have massive impact, you start to actually see and feel everything that goes around it, right? It's not just need to solve the problem now. You kind of slow down and realize all the tiny things that are improving, not only like when it comes to your physical health, but everything else that you see, you know? So how did would you agree with that, or would you like to add anything to that intention?
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like something else that we do with every single one of our clients is that we go through a phase that is called clarity, where we actually explain you, this is what we're going to go through for the full program. Like, this is how we're going to do it. And this is how long it's going to take you. Like, we keep it so clear and easy for them that it's like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty easy and doable. Let me go ahead and do it. So we make that process and we make that program as easy for you as possible, but also 100% based on what you want and the things that you don't want to. Because that's another thing that we as coaches need to really understand. Not only the things that you want to accomplish, but the things that you really don't want to do. So we can
Mhm.
create your program based on that. And then we can make it as easy as and simple as possible, but also enjoyable. It doesn't make any sense if you're not going to be able to sustain that for the rest of your life. So that's another thing that I feel like it makes a huge, huge difference outside of keeping it simple, you knowing where we're going and how long it's going to take us to get there, and having that accountability every single week. I promise you, it's going to take your results to like the next level.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's also a defining factor of like good to great coaches, right? Because I think good coaches can get people results. Great coaches can explain it and tailor it in a way that doesn't doesn't require the client to need the coach anymore,
Yeah.
right? Because I think a lot of people are used to a coach being a drill sergeant that says, "Do as I say." And you will see results, right? And that's, I mean, that's a lot of what I've fought as a coach is like, all right, when I ask them what they want to do, they're like, what do you mean, what do I want to do? You're telling me what to do. It's like, hold on, no, this is a partnership here, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just here for 6 months to help you lose weight and then bye, see you later, and then you gain all the way back, which is I think what a lot of people are kind of used to at this point with the typical gym bro science out there. But when you actually have
Yeah.
something that listens to what you need, you start to learn how to make the most beneficial choices for yourself, right? And the
Yeah.
coach is there to remind you of the choices that you're making, of where you want to go, because we create that clarity, right? When you lack the clarity and you're only looking at the scale, well, here's your macros, here's your workout, have fun, right?
Yeah.
And I hate that. I can't stand that.
It doesn't work.
Ah, I mean, even if it does, it's probably not going to last, right? Because
Yeah.
I had a client who came to me and he had a coach before, and they just put him on 1,600 calories, and and that was it. They would talk to him once a month, and just every time he wouldn't lose weight, they keep lowering and lowering his calories, and there was never an explanation. And when he signed on with me, he was very confused when I asked him like 50 questions about what he does in his day to day, what he values, and
Yeah.
where's his activity, where's his stress at. He's like, why do you want to know all this stuff? It's like, because I need it to tell you what, or to make your program so I could
Yeah.
understand what you and your life wants, right? And it's like, oh well, okay, this is weird. And like every time something would come up, he'd be like, sorry, I didn't do the thing. I'm like, don't apologize. Like, that was
Yeah.
my bad for putting too much on you right now. Let's readjust, let's refocus, let's still keep the goal in mind, but we need to make sure that we fit something with where you're at. Right. And there's sometimes where a coach has to step up and kind of,
Yeah.
like call them out on their bullshit. But like it's all from love. You know what I mean? So what's the man, I think I've kind of already asked you this question, but what do you think someone listening to this show right now, struggling with finding consistency or accountability in their own journey, what would you want them to walk away from after listening to this podcast?
I would love to tell them that stop trying to be perfect. Like, you're never going to be perfect. And that's okay. Not even us coaches, we're not perfect. I still make mistakes every single day. So stop looking for perfection and try to find something that allows you to stay consistent and allows you to feel good about yourself. If that's a walk, a 5-minute walk, go for it. I'm here for you. If you want to do one protein at every single one of your meals, go for it. Like, stop trying to do everything all at once and keep it so simple that it becomes something that you do without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. It's really easy. Get out of your I think it's about 9 times out of 10, we just need to get out of our own way and accept the fact that we
Say
do
that.
not need to uphold this unrealistic standard. But
Yeah.
most people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you have to run here pretty soon. And I know this was a bunch of almost, it was a bit of a difficulty getting this all set up. And anyway, we're probably gonna have to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Because I know I could talk to you for a lot longer, but don't want to keep you away from your clients. So before I let you go, where could people find more stuff from you?
They can find more stuff from me in my Instagram page. I'm pretty active on my Instagram, always posting my reels, my videos, everything, and my clients win. So my Instagram is going to be at luisanafit_balance. And also my Facebook page, Luisana Carrero. I can put it in the comments, or I can send it to you so you can put it in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
description.
Those will also be in the show notes as well.
Perfect. So yeah, that's where I'm always at. If you need anything, you can always reach out. You can always send me a DM. And yeah, I'm here to help.
You're a goddamn rock star and inspiration to many people who
Oh,
have a rough relationship with themselves and their food, and to take what you've been through, turn it around and use it as a force for good is truly inspiring. And I feel very lucky to be able to call you not only a friend but a team member. And it's really, really cool to see all the stuff that you're going to be able to do. So thanks for joining me, and I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Okay.
thank you so much.
Bye.